Okay, you guys ready? Okay, so we're going to get started. This is the Python IDE panel. I'm actually really excited about this personally because I teach a lot of Python classes, and I have students coming into these classes with like all manner of development environments, and it's sort of impossible to keep up with everything that's going on. So Michael Ford is going to moderate the panel. I'll let him do the introduction. So I'll turn it over to Michael.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to this talk. Just to let you know what's going to happen in this session. We're going to start with these guys here. We have a bunch of guys who are all representing different IDEs, usually, but not always, because they've written it or they've helped develop the Python support or whatever. So I'm going to get them to briefly introduce themselves, explain why they're here for their particular IDE, and why their IDE of choice is the very best Python IDE, and you ought to be using that one instead of all the other ones. Now, up front, I'm going to declare an interest here. I'm a big fan of the Wing IDE, so I think we're going to see this one come out on top. But we'll leave it to you guys to see what you think. After that, they're all going to show us a brief demo. Hopefully on the projector. I can't see anything up there, but I guess we've got nothing plugged into it so far. So they're going to show us a brief demo of each of the different IDEs and how they use them with Python. And then when that's finished, we've got 45 minutes in total, so then we're going to open it up to questions from the audience. So I'll start by getting the guys to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Dino Wieland, and I work on Python tools for Visual Studio, which we just released earlier this week, and it adds Python support for debugging, profiling, and we're focusing on HPC support.
Hi, my name is Dmitry Jemerov, and I work on PyCharm, which is the new IDE based on the IntelliJ platform, an IDE for Python and Django. And our IDE is the best because we spend a lot of effort in understanding both the Python code in general and the specific details of each framework that is commonly used with Python, and we make use of all this understanding to help you develop with pleasure and productively.
My name is Todd Whiteman, and I work for ActiveState, developing Komodo IDE. And basically, Komodo has been around for about 10 years. It supports Python 2, Python 3, and provides things like debugging, code completions, and a whole bunch of features. So, hi.
Hi, I'm Stefan. I'm one of the guys at Wingware. I had nothing to do with choosing Michael as the moderator. I helped start the company back in 1999, and our goal was to develop an IDE specifically designed for Python, and that's what we've been focusing on ever since.
I'm Barry Warsaw. Somehow I got roped into coming up here and representing Emacs. I think it's kind of silly that I'm up here for an IDE panel because Emacs is kind of less an IDE and more the only reason to have a keyboard and a screen on your computer in the first place. But other than that...
But isn't it true, Barry, that back in the day you either created or for a while maintained the Python mode for Emacs?
Yeah, so I'll just get this out of the way. Tim Peters actually created Python mode.el, which is the major mode for editing Python code in Emacs. And we've sort of kept that going for the last 17 years. Myself, Skip Montanaro, quite a few other people help out. There's actually 3 Python modes in existence, and the reason for that is even sillier than me being up here. But yeah, so the one true Python mode is Python mode.el, just in case you're wondering.
Okay, so which of you guys is going to volunteer to go first and demo your IDE for us? Yeah, let's do it in order. Okay, so we've got Dino with Python tools for Visual Studio. Whilst he's just setting up, I'm hopefully not taking away his stealing his thunder by saying this works with Visual Studio 2010. It's an add-on, a plugin, but it also works with the Visual Studio Shell, which is free. So it doesn't work with Visual Studio Express, but you can use it for free, and it does support CPython as well as IronPython. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Dino now. And it's open source.
Okay, so hopefully the demo gods will smile on me. I'm connected back to Washington here over the network, so hopefully everything goes well. But this is where my cluster is, and one of our big focuses is actually on supporting high-performance computing. In this initial release, we have support for MPI, debugging, and launching. So here I have a simple little application, which is just a Monte Carlo method for calculating pi. And what I can do here is I have a breakpoint, and I can go in and do start debugging. And this is actually going to launch on my cluster. So if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, we published, we scheduled the job on the cluster, and here in a second, I am now actually attached in and debugging 4 different Python processes that are all working together to work on the Monte Carlo method. So over here you can see I have, using MPI, we have different ranks for each node, and you can see I have the rank pinned here so I can tell what node I'm on, and I've hit the breakpoint. So I can hit F5 to continue. Now I've switched over to a different rank, and I can sort of continue that. Of course, we have sort of all the debugging features you'd expect, so I can come in here and inspect things. I can come down to the watch window, and this is where the network is going slow. And I can, here I have a call to locals, so you can use arbitrary Python expressions in here, of course. I could come in here and do something like this, which I apparently did wrong. I could, do a list comprehension, and I get out all the keys in the locals and so on. So we support kind of all of the core things you'd expect with the basic debugging experience, and we have this great experience for launching, deploying to HPC clusters. We've also gone ahead and added support for IPython directly in, and this is using the bleeding edge of IPython, which is .11, which isn't even out yet. So you actually have to go to their source code repository right now and sync to it. But the bleeding edge has a lot of cool new stuff in it that separates the core of IPython from the actual user interface. So I'll just give you the basic hello world demo of IPython here. Okay, so I've gone ahead and brought in the basic, all the fun IPython stuff, and my network's killing me. I can start a multi-engine client, and that's going to talk to a bunch of different nodes within my cluster, and I can show you that I can get the IDs back, and I have 6 different nodes in my cluster right now. I can define a function, and then I can go ahead and I can actually run that function on all of those nodes. And IPython seamlessly takes that code, ships it up to the server, and delivers me back the results when all of the nodes have completed their execution. So those are the core HPC features. We're going to continue to add some more HPC features over time. And if you have high-performance computing scenarios that you're interested in, we'd love to hear your feedback and know what we should start targeting next. I have 1 minute left, I think. I'd love to show you some IntelliSense features. I don't think I'm going to get to it, but I have a lightning talk tomorrow, so hopefully you can see some of those then, and I have a poster session tomorrow as well, so you can stop by and I can show you some features if you're interested in them. Thanks.